Okay, so you've started an Instagram account for your lettering and calligraphy and you're hoping to grow it like you've seen so many other people do on there. But every time you post, it feels like crickets because you actually don't have many followers. So what should you do? Hey, I'm Becca with the Happy Ever Crafter, and you might not believe it by looking at my account now, but I've been where you are. I remember how that felt. It was super frustrating and discouraging, and honestly, you feel sort of silly posting about stuff and then feeling like you're talking to absolutely nobody. So I'm not gonna sit here and tell you I have a magic pill that you can take and suddenly you'll start getting followers and engagement, because anyone who tells you that solution exists is lying to you. Instagram is a long game. It is hard to go viral on Instagram, but I can definitely tell you that growing your audience slowly and steadily, aka ethically, without buying followers or tricking people to follow you, is so worth it. Instagram is how I started my business, and I attribute so much of where I am today to what I've been able to do on Instagram. So maybe you want to grow an account of like-minded artists or some sort of community, or maybe you want to grow an audience of people who want to learn from you, or maybe you just want to grow an audience of potential clients. Maybe it's a combination of all of those things, like mine. In any case, I've put together my 3 biggest tips for you here. All right, tip number 1 is consistency, or quality over quantity. So hands down, one of the most important things you need to do when you're trying to grow an audience on Instagram is staying consistent with posting. That's just the way it is. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's really hard work. But Instagram's algorithm definitely rewards consistency. If you go too long without posting anything or having much engagement, the next time you post, Instagram won't show it to as many people. And that's just the crappy reality. So because of that, it's really tempting to throw up some sort of post like haphazardly, even if it's not actually very good, just so you don't get pushed down in the algorithm. But the problem with that is that if you throw up a post that's just for sheer quantity and people don't actually like it or engage with it, that also hurts in the algorithm. So algorithm wise, my recommendation here is to come up with a consistency that works for you and that will actually give you enough time to create quality posts. Like 3 or 4 posts a week is better than 7 boring ones that people won't actually engage with. And as much as I say the algorithm is important, I also want to make a really big point about this. Stop thinking so much about the algorithm and think more about real people following you or that want to follow you. What do they want to see? Because think about it, wouldn't you rather follow someone with 3 posts a week, but anytime you see them, you know it's going to be good and you're always going to read it? Versus someone who has a good one here and there, but more often you just see random stock photos of coffee and you learn to kind of tune them out in your feed. It's not just about what the algorithm wants. In fact, I'd argue that growing your audience on Instagram is way more about thinking of the people that are following you and acting more like a real human than an algorithm-obsessed content machine. Okay, point number 2 is engagement and participation in the community. This one is similar to my second point in that last one about actually thinking about the people on Instagram versus the algorithm. I get asked a lot about how I grew my audience on Instagram, and the first thing I always say is to stop thinking about getting more people and think more about the people who you already have. I know that sounds counterintuitive because the goal is to get more people, but seriously, hear me out. You need to engage and participate with the people who are already there and already paying attention to you. If you were in a room of 30 people who came to hear from you, you wouldn't ignore them and go look out the door and see if you could yell and get some more people to come in, would you? No, you would engage with the people in there, get to know them, learn what they want to hear from you, and then deliver it as best you can. And guess what? In turn, those people are going to appreciate you, or in marketing speak, they're going to know, like, and trust you, and they're going to tell others, and you're naturally going to get more people in. Stop thinking about getting a bajillion fans, and instead start thinking about making true fans about the people who are already there. So practically, how do you do this? Well, you got to do the things that feel unscalable. So do the things that really, truly take a lot of your time and effort and act like you would in real life. So number 1, answer all the comments on your posts, like actually answer them. Don't just put a heart emoji. And here I'll put like a little caveat that once you reach a certain level, this is literally impossible. But if you're here, I'm assuming you're at a level where this is entirely doable, even if it's a lot of effort. I did that for the first 3+ years of my business, even with hundreds of thousands of followers. So you can do that. Number 2, answer all your DMs or even reach out and start your own DM conversations. Like actually reach out to people and start conversations with them like you would if you were friends. Number 3, visit the profiles of people who follow you and who like your stuff and engage with their stuff. Let them know that you see them and that you appreciate them being there and that you like their stuff too. Number 4, actively participate in challenges within your community and hype up other people's work too. In the lettering and calligraphy community, there are a million challenges you can join. There are so many ways to do this engagement stuff, but the key is to do it meaningfully. Do the things that take extra time and take extra effort. When I first started, I had a tiny number of followers, and I did everything I could to engage with them. I even sent some of them snail mail. Like, go that far. This stuff compounds over time, I promise. All right, Instagram tip number 3 is calls to action. So lastly, this one is a little bit more of a tweak to what you're already doing that's gonna have a big impact. And that is that when you post things, make sure you have a call to action. That means that you're actively trying to inspire somebody to take action when they see your post. This can be as small as just telling them to double tap if, or tell me your favorite blank in the comments, or ask them to come subscribe to my email list kind of thing. Just something that you're straight up asking them to do. It feels weird, but it truly helps. People aren't maliciously just scrolling by and not hitting like. They just need to be asked to do it, and it's like an easy no-brainer for them to do it. So just don't forget to ask for things like that. Posting consistently is great, but posting consistently and having your followers take action and engage with your content is extra great. You always want to be thinking about, once you have someone's attention and you've stopped their scroll, how can you make sure they don't just read it and move on without engaging? You want to get that engagement. Since your goal is to grow the audience, use that valuable attention for something that's actually going to move the needle. Okay, so as a recap, number 1 was post consistently. Make sure it's quality over quantity. Hone in on what your audience wants and don't just post fluff. Number 2, engage. Do the things that feel like the most work, that feel like how you would actually engage with your friends on social media, like, comment, start conversations. And then number 3, add more calls to action. Doesn't need to be on every post, but it should be on most of them. All right, I hope you found these tips helpful. Now let me take my own advice and hit you with a call to action. So if you liked this video, make sure you hit subscribe on my channel. It's that big red button down below if you scroll down, and it might not mean a lot to you, but it means so much to me to help me be able to create more free videos like this for you. For now, I'm gonna link you to another video I think you'll find helpful, and I'll see you over there.